Shalom, Akim. I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach in Royal, and salutations to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing the truth and sincerity. Shalom, Akim. I want to get into this Deontay Wilder situation. At one point, this guy was on top of the world, with his boxing skills. He came up. He was knocking guys out left and right in the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division has been, in the last 15, 20 years, has been, a laughing stock for the most part, other than Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, to the star power, to guys you want to see fight. But then who's their competition? So when those two fought, it was a real good fight, But he was on top of the boxing world, and he had a wife. He had a regular woman he was dealing with, left her, and he wanted to go for the one that everybody wants. So he chose this woman right here in the picture. And she already had a kid. Long story short, he's doing interviews right now saying how the kid disrespected him and told him that you're not my real daddy, And he took that on the chin, and he was upset about that. But before that, he had put the kid and the mom all in their will, did a lot of different things, went above and beyond, So in today's world, this dude is a simp. He's a real simp, He's a good boxer, he's a good fighter, but he's a simp. And truthfully, the downfall was dealing with this chick right here. When I think about it, because I followed his career, and once he started messing with this woman right here, he left boxing damn near alone. This is when you see him come in for the part 2, I want to say, of the Fury match. When he has on the all black stuff, and you can tell his whole demeanor is off. He was a big guy, now he was slimmed down some. He was a bulky guy. So these women, you gotta watch these women, man, because they're not all for your best interest, man. Especially in this wicked place, man, where you have things as TikTok, Instagram, and these different social media sites where they can get on and promote their weirdness, that women's vibration stuff, man. That whether it be witchcraft shit or women's breed sessions and shit, man. They got all sorts of women bullshits out here on these social media sites, man. When you see these women with all the earrings in their noses and with these different signs drawn on their foreheads and their hair done all up crazy, and they trying to tell you what to do and pulling out tarot cards and stuff. This is an average nigga woman nowadays, man. This is what they're into. They got 4 and 5, 6, 7 kids with about 4 or 5 different baby daddies, and they're healing right now. They call themselves healing. But anyway it go, like I say, this dude was on top of the boxing world, but he wasn't humble, man, because he was supposed to have seen this one coming from a mile away, man. This is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And like I said, dude was full of pride at one point, man. He was on top of the boxing world. So he left his regular girlfriend and chose to get with her, a woman who already had a kid. And then the kid, years later down the road, just totally disrespected him. Probably after he played the best daddy role he could play for the kid, man. Probably, I'm assuming the kid's father wasn't in the picture and shit like that, man. Because most Jake parents aren't, dads aren't, for one reason or another. Maybe it was a woman ran him off. Or maybe, it was just a stand and something happened and produced a child. And he really didn't want to be there, It's all sorts of reasons and theories you could go off. But at the end of the day, he was taking care of a kid that wasn't his. And, he had to find out the hard way, man. It crushed him, Proverbs 16 and 19. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the low than to divide the spoil with the proud. And that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to divide his spoil, his wealth, his earnings. He even called his kids and told his kids, like, I'm going to really share some of my wealth with this other kid that's not mine. Do y'all care about that? And they said, no, go ahead. Do what you got to do. And in all hindsight, what happened was he got burnt. I don't even think he's still with this chick anymore, But yeah, man, that pride, man, you know, and the pride. He was a very prideful man. Once he got with this chick, he was on top of the world. He was giving this woman all, bigging her up, taking her everywhere. Couldn't stop holding her hands. Couldn't stop wrapping himself around her. That type of situation, man. But in the end of the day, he had to go. Now he's on talk shows and different things, just trying to, let him know, like, yeah, I was wrong. I was dead wrong, man. I was trying to be something that I shouldn't have been, trying to be, basically. But here's Proverbs 31:3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Yeah, because you giving all your strength to these women, you putting all your faith into these women, and that's what happens, man. They'll leave you at the drop of a dime, man. They'll find a bigger bag. They'll go marry a bigger boxer, And sometimes they'll even take steps backwards. Where if he's the boxer, they might deal with the chauffeur. They might deal with the dude who cuts his grass, the mailman, the garbage man. That's how low these women do it, man. You cannot satisfy these modern women at all, man. Here is the Lord has given these modern women a nice face, a nice body. But guess what? They want to mess it up. They want to go to the doctor, get cuts and curves. They want to look like this person on TV, that person that they seen in the movie, They want their butts bigger. They want their breasts bigger. Sometimes they want to reduce their breasts. Sometimes they want to reduce their butts. You cannot make these modern women happy. The Lord can't make them happy when he birthed them and gave them what they have. So what as a man, you with money think that you can do for these women, man? But yeah, don't give your strength to these women, man. You're all, Especially these women that have kids already, man. Because they're already in touch. They're in line. What's the word I'm looking for? They're tailored to that man who put the baby in them, so to speak, man. That's their man. It is what it is, man. And you coming along just because he's not with him no more, with the woman no more. That's still, he still has to come see his kids, which means he has to deal with the woman. And the woman still has feelings for these men. 10 times out of 10. You'll be a fool to go over there to think that you're going, I got this and that in my pocket, so I could do better. No, man. Everything's temporary in this wicked place, man. These women are temporary, man. They're dealing with you temporarily. Yeah. This is Proverbs 30:20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. Because they don't have no discernment of the things they do. It's all about these women, man. This is why they got their own channel. The women's channel. They got. They seen us playing football and basketball. Now they came out with their own leagues and stuff. These women act like they don't really need us and stuff. And in all actuality, a man is there for men. The woman was born to be our helper for us. And when you tell them that, they get upset. They want to be on an equal playing field as us. These women are very wicked, man. And if they don't get their way, and they'll try their hardest to destroy you somehow, some way, man. Whether it be on social media, call the police on you. There's multiple ways for a woman to destroy a man. You know what I'm saying? As far as what he's got going on and what he's doing, man. And this woman hit him in different ways. She had her son there, and he was disrespecting him. And What did she do to stop the son from saying those things? Like, son, shut up, man. You about to mess up this bag. You think she tried to do that, man? These women are nuts, man. And like I said, man, these women, they act like they do nothing wrong, man. Like the scriptures speak about, man. Why is that? Because they don't have a care in their body, man, other than for themselves, man. And then, like I say, when I seen the video with the little demon, you could tell that this was a little runny nose. I get it all from my mom and whatever boyfriend she has coming around type of dude, man. These women are birthing monsters out here. I've talked to this one girl at my job. She has kind of dealing with this story. She has 4 kids by this one dude, and he's in and out of jail. And so I'm telling her, like, yeah, that's your husband, man. No, it's not. We're not together. Hey, lady, you should have thought about that after the first one, the second one, the third one. Now you're at four deep. Now you're talking about we're not together and you want to do whatever you want to do. These women are crazy. They're disillusional. This is Second Esdras 5 and 8. There shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often set out again, and the wild beasts shall change their place, and the monstrous women shall bring forth monsters, man. And that's what we have going on in today's society, man. These women are birthing monsters at an extreme rate. When you go outside and cut on the news or whatever, and you hear about these drillers and all this stuff, these are those monsters that have been born, that are out here. You know, Shay Shay done laid up with JJ and had all his little killer seeds put up in her, and now she done birthed them, and now they out here running around on the streets, and she's looking crazy, because as long as she can still twerk and get on her social media, she'll be all right, you know? So at the end of the day, man, you got to watch these women, man. You know, they're evil on the inside. They look beautiful on the outside, but they're wicked in the inside, man. With that being said, I hope this is edifying. Shalom, IQ.